Hello, this is Wayne in Cave Creek, and today I'm going to share with you another piece of equipment that I have that you may recognize. It's the kelly+kettle. This one holds 2 cups of water, and what it is basically is just a boiler. It's not really meant to cook anything, but in the field where you may not have access to fuel of any kind except for wood or even paper, this will boil water. And 2 cups of water is pretty much all you need for just about anything that you're going to cook. This one is made of stainless steel, but they're made of aluminum also, if you wish. This one, like I said, holds 2 cups. They come smaller and come bigger than this. There are other ones like this out there on the market. I don't recall what the names are right now, but this is one I elected for several reasons, of which at the moment I cannot remember. But basically, you have a fire pan it sits in, has 2 vent holes. And what you would do is that you would fill it with wood or newspaper, wood chips, something to get the fire going here. Okay. Providing this is full of water, you would set this on here, and the fire would go up through here, through the chimney, and out the top. The jacket itself is a water jacket. This thing inside is conically shaped, and I'll include a picture of what a cutaway looks like so you can get an idea of how it works in that regard. The thing I like about this is as you need to add fuel, you don't have to pull it off. You just drop chunks of wood or whatnot down the top of the chimney. And I've done pine needles to branches to pieces of pine cone, that sort of thing. And it works fine. As a matter of fact, the flame comes flying out of there pretty good. I suppose with the fire pan, there are some kits out there and pieces and accessories where you put a little grate over it and put a coffee cup on it, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. So, as you can see, it's conically shaped, and the reason why you want a conical shape really is for really good heat transfer. If you know anything about thermodynamics, basically as you interject any kind of heated gas into a confined space, what will happen is that the pressure will go up, the velocity will go up, and the thermal transfer to the water will be greatly enhanced, rather than if this thing was just a true cylinder with the fire just going straight out the top and then the walls just getting, bypass heat. So it has a little handle, obviously. The cork stopper I would use with this thing without the cork stopper in place, otherwise it comes blasting out there when it hits boil. But the way it works is that it sits there on the fire pan, and I'm going to show you all this further on. I'm actually going to show you how it works. You would grab it by its ladle here. Basically, you would grab it by the chain first and kind of tip it up and grab it like this, and you would be able to pour out the contents without burning yourself. Basically, you'd want to move it away from the fire and then do that, and then you can put it back on the fire pan, add more water to it, that sort of thing. What I'm going to do is, it's kind of warm outside right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put ice water in here and give you a timed idea as to how this works. It doesn't take a lot of fuel for it to work. The only other thing I'll say is that they come with a pretty good guarantee on their the materials and workmanship. And I didn't elect for the aluminum one mainly because if this, for some reason, I neglected it and got busy with something else and it burned or boiled away dry, it's not going to destroy it. If it was aluminum, it would fall apart in no time. Overheating aluminum, it just doesn't work too well. Stainless steel would be much more forgiving. And I also look at it from a durability standpoint. The thing weighs a couple of pounds. I suppose you could pack stuff in there if you were backpacking. I would probably not take this backpacking only because it is so bulky. I would keep it in my vehicle or my camper, or depending on the kind of hike I was going to do, where fuel might be an issue, I would take this. But all else fails when you can't find anything like white gasoline, kerosene, propane, whatever. I suppose you could break up your furniture with the kukri, like I showed you in one of my other videos, or the wire saw, or the Alpinel saw, and chop it up in little chunks and feed it in this little monster, and you can get boiling water, and that way you can reconstitute dried food, like Mountain House dried food, or anything like that, or hot coffee or whatever. So when I tested this out the first time, it was just above freezing. The water itself was about 38 degrees that I put in this, and I used just pine needles. And it took about 8 minutes for it to get to boil, thereabouts, 8 to 10 minutes. And I left a really nasty residue in here that I had to take a Scotch-Brite pad and scrub off. Another reason I wanted stainless. It could take the abuse that way. Today it probably won't take as long. And I can't remember what I paid for it, 50, 60 bucks maybe. But it's one of those deals that if you need it, it's worth its weight in gold. So I will take it outside and I'll show you basically how it sets up, and I'll put the water in and we'll do a time boil, and that way you can get an idea how it goes. Okay, this is just common toilet tissue, something to kind of get it started. You could use little twigs too if you wanted. So I'm going to put a little of that in there. And I chopped up a bunch of sticks with my kukri, which you saw in the other video. Just going to build up some wood here. See the gas is coming out of here right now. We're starting at 3 minutes after 5. You see the flames coming out of there. And if you need to really get it going, you can blow through those holes. You can see how it really gets it going. Just drop more fuel in. The natural wind is helping us out quite a bit. The water going in there was about 38 degrees. Like I say, the wind blowing is giving it all the draft it needs. You can see the fire coming out of there. It's pretty intense because it's concentrating it through the conical shape in there. Okay, the water is boiling now. You're going to see it in a second. It's hissing and spitting. There it goes. I normally wouldn't let it get to this point because it'd be a waste. But let's say if I had a cup here I wanted to put hot water into, I would pick it up like this. Of course, by letting it go to full boil, I just put my fire out, but that's okay. I got my hot water now. And it took about 5 minutes. So, it's a very efficient little boiler, and if I kept that fire going, I could just refill this thing and do it again and again and again as much as I needed to. That's the Kelly Kettle, and I'll include the website, which is kelly+kettle.com. I'll print it up there, though. And do your research as far as pricing is concerned. You can get these at all kinds of prices. I don't think I'd buy one used, especially if it was aluminum. I appreciate your watching my videos, and any feedback is welcome. If there's any questions on or ideas of what you might want me to do, I plan on doing ones on backpacks and things like that later on. So anyway, again, thanks for watching.